Ready for some postcard fun? Oh, yeah, that sounds good. We'll start in just a few minutes anyway. Hey, for those of you online, we are going to start in a few minutes here. So feel free to grab coffee, use the bathroom or whatever. We'll start at 1:05. And at that point, just let me know if you can't see my screen or hear me. I'll go ahead and put that in the chat just in case you can't hear me. Oh, did not mean to press enter. Hey, hey. Let's see. Let's do this. Hey, now I forgot my notes. That's okay. They're in my backpack. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm pretty old.
Okay. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and get started for today. And today we're gonna go over how to send a postcard through command. So we'll be going over a few examples. First, we're gonna go over like a just sold postcard using the templates already in command. Then we're gonna talk about a more farming-like postcard that we can do in command. And then if we have time, I want to show how to also do that in Canva in case you use that in your business as well. Yeah, whoop, whoop. So if you ever need to book an appointment with us, with anything I go over today, you can always come to kwbresources.com and click I need tech help in the top right corner to bring you to our Calendly so you can book with us. So for today, we're going to be in command for the most part, which is at agent.kw.com. And here we can sign in with our KW credentials. All right, with the first example that we're doing, I'm going to use the template that's already in the direct mailer campaign section, just to show you how to go about that. And I'm going to do like a just sold example. And a lot of agents, I see that very commonly using postcards for their just sold to get more listings from it. So that might be a good usage of mailers in command. So
like just sold as in like somebody's listing that was sold and how to use it myself?
Yeah, you would have to use a KWB listing, so somebody here would have had to sold it. But yeah, you can use that for like that you would be covered compliance wise. And I do love that idea, like having just sold and then the back being some verbiage like, hey, did you know every time a property sells in your neighborhood, your equity changes? Like, let me know if you would like to know, how that changed. So that is a common one that we see happen. So I'm going to go to the megaphone icon on the left-hand side, which is the campaign section. And when I click on that, I'm brought to this overarching campaigns dashboard. I can click over to direct mail at the top to bring us to our quote unquote direct mail dashboard. And here you're going to find anything you've previously sent out or maybe saved as a draft. So to start our campaign and to start our postcard creation, for this example, we can go up to create campaign in the top right corner and select direct mail. Now we do need to give it a name and a goal, but no one sees this except you. So this is purely for your organization purposes. So for like just sold, we could do this and maybe the address. I actually have a example one I'll use today. So let me just go ahead and use it. Oops. Okay. And because this is a listing one, I can click on advertise listing as the goal. And there's only a slight difference on goal selection on how the next page is going to look. If you choose any of these, like brand awareness, anything but the advertised listing, the only difference is for advertised listing, it's going to give you an extra option to put in the address so that the targeting is automatically configured for you.
So
And that's okay too, because you can edit it either way. It's just like an extra little slot. And like I'll show you too on our next postcard how that changes.
you don't have to put that address, like what you put just so, like what is that one for again?
This is just an example listing I found. So like I just did like just no, you don't. So that's just for your organization. So you'll know what it is, but you don't have to put the what? Yeah, brand awareness will work. Or do do advertise listings for this example.
I put a track on, so I know if I put that, that's what it's gonna show up.
Mhm.
It's like a title, like a file name.
Exactly, just so you know what you sent out.
Same thing, advertisements.
Yeah.
It's just a file.
Mhm. And then click create campaign. And it's going to bring us into this builder. So this is the extra thing. Since we picked the advertised listing goal, this extra pop-up arises so that we can go ahead and put in that actual listing address. However, instead of going ahead and just typing right in there, it is filtering right now for only my listings and active listings in the top right. So if we need to change that, so for example, if you're doing another agent's listing, we could change the show only my listings to all listings. And we would want to change the status. I mean, I would just go ahead and change to all statuses so you can see everything. And then we can search by that listing address and pull that right in. Yeah, feel free to copy. I grabbed an example listing before class today. It's technically not a KWB listing though. I could not find one fast. So do not send this out because it won't be in compliance. Oh, it's 1907 Catkin Lane. I kind of like the road name. That's why I picked it. Catkin.
Does it have to be sold necessarily?
No, it could be, you can do a just listed postcard. You could do under contract postcard. It doesn't matter which status. So you just have to list that on the postcard itself. No. But like if it was sold in the past by a KWB agent, like you could use that as a recently sold. Then we can just click the listing that we want to use. So let's just say it's this one right here, the top left one. We can select that. And on the right-hand side, we're going to start seeing a preview as we start to build this out. So for example, that price and the address as well as beds and bath already got put onto there because we selected that listing. But we're going to build it out more under content. So we can click on that section, the content section, to drop that down. And we're going to start filling out this section. This is the big build out part. So starting with the top, the template, they do have slightly different looks, but the main thing I would select here is what size that you're looking to use. So whether the 4x6 on the right-hand side, 6x9, 6x11. Of course, the bigger the size of postcard, the more expensive it's going to be. So just keep that in mind with your budgeting. I'm going to go ahead and keep it as compact template, that 4x6 example. But if you wanted to click around to see the different kind of looks, I will say they just slightly vary. It's nothing crazy. And so the sizing is the main thing that you would want to select here. Next, we're going to move right down to the listing details. Again, because we selected that listing up top, it pulls in a lot of the information. But there are a few things that we're going to have to select here. So listing status, for example, we can select the one that fits. And this is always something I have to look out for with these templates is this character limit. So it does pull in the full description, but there's only room for 350 characters. I know it's not very much. Yeah. So, I mean, a couple things we could do here. We could, delete until the part that it actually fits in there. We could also use ChatGPT if we wanted to. So I might do that for this example. And what we could do is say, rewrite this in 350 characters and paste that in there. And let ChatGPT do the work for us. Perfect. And like once ChatGPT does something, we can click that little icon right beneath it to copy. And then go back to our postcard and paste that in. Hey, that was not 350 characters. Oh, wait, maybe that's, how do I say like including spaces? I thought that was character. It did work? Ah, okay, well. I don't know. I'm just going to remove this one. Is it? Okay. Maybe it is. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could have come back and be like, go shorter. I could have said that, but I just deleted a sentence and just moved on with it. So that's just something to keep in mind is usually the description is way over this limit. So we're going to keep that in mind so that we can make that a little shorter. And where that's displaying on the preview on the right-hand side, we can switch to see the back. And that's displaying on the back side here. So that's why the character limit's a little shorter because it has to fit. This preview that this is not an official preview because a lot of times when I'm doing this, I'll see it looks a little like I don't even know, blurry a little bit, but I'll show you where we can see the final preview so we can make sure it's not like that. So next we're going to click we're going to need to select a listing photo, and that's going to be the main photo that's going to be on the front of this postcard. So we can upload our own image, but we can also click over to listing image to pull that right in from the MLS. So we can click the front of it, or if they have like a pool or maybe a great kitchen, we can choose whichever photo from the MLS. They're all going to have that little exclamation point. Anytime I've ever done this, when I try to pull it from the MLS, it always gives me this exclamation point because it's wanting like a higher quality photo. However, every single time I pulled it from the MLS, it works great. Like it's not blurry and there's no problems with it. So I think it's just doing that to kind of cover its own butt in case, but you can use these photos and they work great from our experience. We've done lots of postcards in here. Right underneath the listing photo is going to be your information, and that's pulling from the marketing profile in Command. However, we can make edits here if we would like. So for example, if you want to put like a dash in your phone number, you can do that here. Yeah. And then we're going to click save. And then this is going to pop up because that exclamation point is on all those photos. But we're just going to click use image anyway. And I'll show you that final preview where we can make sure that quality is good for our liking. It's so such a hoot. All right, so now we got the content down. And that's pretty easy because all we did mostly was just pick that listing from the beginning and then picked a photo. So those are the main content items that we needed. Next, we're going to do Market Center. So we can click on that module to expand it. And this we always have to fill out just our Market Center information and verify that address. Oh, it should be pulling from the marketing profile as well. So if you've changed it there, but if not, I can show you where we can change that. Let me make a note to go back there. And I have seen that if you have updated the marketing profile, like within like the last week, like it takes a little time to update. Oh yeah, the name has a character limit. For our Market Center, I've asked like what the best name to use. Keller Williams Ballantyne area. Yeah, so you might need to, but if you just have Ballantyne area, that's great for compliance purposes. Keller Williams Ballantyne area, sorry. And that fits in the character limit, which is great. Oh yeah, so once we click verify address, this is always going to pop up and we can just click on that top address entered and then click confirm address. And it's going to check us. Next is our targeting section. So if we can click on that to expand that out. Again, because we put in that listing, it automatically put in, hey mom. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Love the pink. Get the whole... Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love that. She's a good one. Good mom.
Night, and now they're best buds.
Oh, I love that. Once you go through that together, I feel like that's any day. You guys are like sisters. Oh, I love that though. Yeah, I feel like that really bonds you together. Ignite, like, man, that's quite a course. Yeah, quite a journey. Look at you guys now. Always in the hub. Yeah, love that. Plugging in. So yeah, targeting, we can just save that to move us right along. And then for budget, we can actually change that once we are configuring our targeting. So we can change that on the next page and I'll show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and click configure targeting in the top right corner. And yes, we want to create this. And this is where things get so fun. Okay, so it's pulling that address. And by default, when we come into this targeting, it is targeting a radius of the closest 200 homes. So that, and we can kind of see here, like you can filter by additional things if need be. I don't see agents using that too often. The only time I've seen an agent really utilize that was for like a just listed postcard to target specific, like downsizing, for example. But here we can also pick which postage class that we want. For a 4x6 postcard, you only have the options for first class. However, for a 6x9 and 6x11, you're going to get both options for standard and first class. And the difference there is the timing it takes. So standard, it takes 7 to 14 business days to mail, and first class takes 4 to 6 business days to mail. So if you are doing a larger postcard and you do have an option for both of them, what we've seen, like for just sold standard, since it doesn't matter really how quickly it gets there, versus like a just listed postcard, we do use first class because that's important for timing.
Some houses.
Yes, sure. So yes, with this targeting map, again, it's doing like a radius of the 200 homes. And when we hover over them, we're going to be able to see a lot of the details for that home. But when we're hovering over, we can also remove any of those dots one by one. However, there is a drawing tool and a polygon tool. Now, they're very similar, draw and polygon. I think the polygon's a lot more user-friendly because I have a hard time, like, for the draw, you have to click and hold it and get the perfect area in kind of one go around. Oh, it's up. It's a little farther up on your screen. Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, this thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Can I zoom? Yeah, good. Let me like zoom. Okay, here it is. Oh,
Oh.
now we're like really zoomed out. Okay. So like draw and polygon up here. I like the polygon tool because for the draw tool, yeah, you have to like click and drag and one go around one time like to get all those. Versus the polygon tool, you can click and every time you click, it's changing directions so that we can really target a specific area here. And like I would recommend like kind of playing with that polygon tool so that you feel comfortable with it. But I think that's a lot more user-friendly than the drawing. And once we do have our shape and how we create that shape, we just have to complete it, like make sure it goes all the way around. And then that's going to change that number homes targeted in the top left based off the area that you've selected. So you can see that like I did that targeting. Now that's targeting 112 homes. And at the bottom for $86.24.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be another one too.
Does that make like, is that good for targeting? And like, and when we're done with the shape, we can also take these dots if we want to like move them in a little bit. And so that it changes the shape and we can make it smaller or even target more with those dots as well. And that always changes the number in the top left. Nice. Pretty cool, right? Like it's pretty simple to target. We're just doing a little shape and it's pulling all those addresses for us. And it's going to even send it to them for us. For this extra checkbox, there is an option to send copy to the company address. I'd recommend always checking it. I always do, just so you know when people get it as well as what they're getting. So you can see, you know, exactly what they're getting in their mailbox as soon as they get it. So I like that option. It does add an extra postcard cost. So it's like 72 cents to do that. Then we can click next. And this is the final step here. So this is that preview I was talking about, the main one to look out for to make sure that we like it. So we can click on view a larger preview here. And we're going to be able to see that with the postage included, so we can make sure nothing's cut off and that we have all the information that we want on there. So we got the front, we got the back, all looks good. So that's the preview, just to make sure, main thing, make sure nothing's cut off. And if you're using a template in Command, nothing will be cut off. But that's very important for like Canva examples as well.
So.
Yes.
Character limit.
Yeah.
You can just put on here, like, you can also, I guess, edit whatever.
Yeah, you could say, yeah, it does not have to be the description. It could say the verbiage I mentioned earlier, like, did you know every time a home sells in your neighborhood, there's an equity change? Yeah, you can make that however you could even be a testimonial that you've gotten or a bio that you want included in there. Just a few different options. And so the last step here would be to just put in our email and card information. and we would be able to order that right away. And it would send out based off standard and first class postage. So that is the example of doing like a property postcard using a template from the direct mail section. Next, we're going to do an example that's more farming, a little more general for a neighborhood. And we're going to do that starting in the designs, like not using a template in direct mail. So I'm just going to click back to bring us back. Yeah. Well, actually, we're going to start in the design section this time. And for those of you online, just let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to put that in the chat, and I'm happy to answer those. All right. So in designs, we're going to go up to the create design in the top right, and we're going to select print, and then do next. And then be patient. There we go. All right. So for this example, it's under buy. Okay, yeah. Let me make sure this is the right category. Yes, okay. So for this one, I'm gonna do a neighborhood snap postcard. So I went under, this category is under buyer and neighborhood snaps. And then when we click on a category on the left-hand side, we're gonna get more options at the top. And I'm gonna click on standard postcard so I can just see my postcard options. Yeah, door hangers are cool in there. So now we can pick whichever design. So it has basically the same information on it. It's more so the look. So whichever one you like more. I'm just going to use this one. So I'm going to hover over it and click use to get started. All right, we're going to build this out a bit. And I'm going to start with the front side. So starting with this section, will your next move be to Barton Hills? So Barton Hills is just the placeholder for the neighborhood name that you want to use here. I'm going to use Hunter Ropes, but of course use whichever neighborhood you would like to farm, maybe the neighborhood you live in. Would there be a question mark? Was there a question mark? Then for this graphic here, right in the middle, this is actually a lot easier to create than it looks. We're going to utilize the KWLS section on the left-hand toolbar. When we click KWLS on the left-hand side, it brings us to listing information at the top, but we can click over to snapshots so that we are able to search by neighborhood name here. Again, where I am, I'm under KWLS, left-hand side, snapshots at the top, and then I just entered in the neighborhood name. Then we want to, of course, select the neighborhood in our area, and we can like click on it, and that's what's going to start generating that graphic for us when we click on that option. And if you scroll down on the left-hand side on this, you'll see that there's a few different like graphics it creates for us. I'm going to match it with the one on the right. Oh, KWLS. Yep. And then neighborhood name. Now, I would recommend actually clicking on this graphic in the middle of the page first. So that way, when we hover over this graphic over on the left-hand side, we'll get this replace icon, and you'll see that doesn't even appear if I don't click on this graphic first. So that way, it will just do the resizing for me. Are you having good? Any questions? Anything that I can... Oh, good. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, in case the neighborhood doesn't come up, you can switch the search by postal code too. Especially like for newer neighborhoods, they might not come up right away. So we can search by postal code and put that in. Now with these images, we do have a lot of access to a lot of stock images within Command, which is great. So on the left-hand toolbar, we can go to images up here. And by default, it's going to bring us to stock images so that we can search by, anything that we're looking to find here.
How do you make the little that?
Oh, click on that one first and then go on and then scroll. Yeah, scroll that one. And then that, yep. Yeah. Yeah, I like the replace image so that it just swaps it out for us. Yeah, so if you click on that one first. Yep, and now that icon will appear. So, yep, you switch it, nice. Perfect. So yeah, and then we don't have to do any resizing. Yeah, that's an expensive neighborhood. It's getting pulled by Nextdoor, like the neighborhood app, which is why sometimes neighborhood names, it's hard to find them as well, because like neighborhoods in Chicago versus here look very different. So which is why that has like some issues sometimes. But that's where it's pulling from that information from the Nextdoor app. So with the images themselves, I'm under images on the left-hand toolbar, and we get brought to stock. So we can change these images if we would like. Same kind of steps though, I'd always recommend clicking on the image we want to replace first so that we can just easily add it without resizing. Yeah, anything. Yeah, I typed in real estate. I've seen some options for Charlotte come up. If you really want to get like local with it, we could switch that in. A tip with using images as well, if you want to like move the image over, for example, if we double click, we can move that. All right. So once we got the front looking good, on the bottom right, we're going to be able to access the back. So click on pages on the bottom right, and then you're able to click on page 2. It's going to be the back of it. Nice. Nice. Perfect. So things that we need to change on the back, of course, is your information up here. I find it easier just to simply type it in, but I'll show you a little tip for like the app link, for example. So for the website, remember, be sure that you have, unless you have a custom domain, that you're including the .kw.com at the end. Yeah, the extra dot in there. For your image, that should be pulling from the marketing profile. I'll show you how we can add images in case it's not. But for that, a headshot, if we go under images on the left-hand toolbar and go over to my assets at the top, your headshot may be there because it should pull from your marketing profile. And we can, again, use the replace icon so that we can make that circle. If your headshot is not here, so again, I'm under images and my assets at the top, we can also add in our headshot here with that red plus icon. For the app code, we can pull that in actually under text. So now I'm going right underneath images to text, left-hand toolbar. And again, if we go to text and then my assets, there's a few things it pulls in. I think it pulls everybody's app right in. So that we can, again, if we click on it first, that's going to give us a replace icon so that we can easily add that in. And with the sizing of this, we can use like the dots on the edge to expand that out. So we can get that to one line. We might just need to make it a little smaller. There we go. And I'm not even going to include HG. I'm just going to do app.com. Perfect. Then with the logo, this logo, DBA name logo, will be on every single design in Command for compliance. It's the placeholder. So same kind of steps. Let's click on that logo first so that we can go right into the logo section on the left-hand side.
Do you know how to do that, like just that bottom one, 'cause mine's clicking.
Oh, I know, it's super finicky. Yeah, you just have to, I don't know, keep clicking until you get it.
Okay. Sorry.
I
Okay,
know.
got it.
Yeah, right. It's not easy. Nice. So that way, yeah, we can use the replace icon if, yeah, it gets a little hard when there's so many elements on top of each other. The app. Oh, the logo. Gotcha. So under workspace, there are the KW ones here, but they're not color Valentine. Yeah, they're just like the generic ones though. So like if you're just trying to get compliance fitted, you could just use the KW one. If not, you can add the logos here, like and browse your computer for it. Do you have the logo already on your good, good. Lovely. And then the last thing we need to change on this back is just this section here. So again, different options, totally up to you on what you put here. It could be your bio, it could be a testimonial. You could kind of just keep what this says here and replace the Barton Hills with what your neighborhood is. I'm going to delete the top and keep this, because I also want to show something a little more maybe advanced, but I think is worth it or it's pretty cool. So how to add a QR code then to this, because QR codes are great for any print marketing you're doing to really bring that to life. And I'm going to use our websites to get the link to create the QR code with. So in a new tab, don't leave this tab, just get a new tab and go to your live website. Then in the search bar, search for the neighborhood name that we are doing this postcard for. And instead of, when you type out the name, instead of clicking enter, clicking search, click on the neighborhood from this drop down. Okay. At this point, we're going to need to click on any of the listings that are in that neighborhood. So any of them will do. So I'm just going to pick the first one. And then if I scroll down a little bit, what I'm looking for is this Explore Hunter Oak section. Yeah, this is just to get to the neighborhood page, which now we have to go through a listing to get there. So if we get to that Explore section, click Go to Neighborhood. And this URL is the one we're going to use for our postcard because it's on your website, so it drives traffic back to your website, but it also gives them valuable information about their neighborhood. So like a market. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Oh, yeah. Scroll down. You could also click neighborhood like near the top and it will bring you down there. And then we'll want to like click on go to neighborhood. Yeah. Okay. And this page right here is what we're going to create a QR code with. It's a very valuable page. It has a CMA, things going on, nearby schools. very informative. So now that we have this, we're going to copy this link at the top. And then another new tab. We're going to Google QR code generator. I skip past the sponsored ones personally. The one I always use is the-QR code-generator.com. But they're all very similar. I'm sure you can do the same thing on every single one. That's okay. Okay. All right, so are these, okay, perfect. So just click on the top home, or this one, sorry.
That one?
Yep. And then click on neighborhood. And then go to neighborhood. So this URL, if you go up there and copy that.
That one?
Mhm. Now in another new tab, a Google QR code generator. Perfect. And scroll down. Those are sponsored at the top. I'm sure they probably do the same thing, but I just don't like sponsored. I use this one.
Sure.
Yes.
For every free plan.
Ever free. That's what I like to hear. And then right at the middle of the screen, it's prompting for a URL. So that's where we're going to paste our URL. And once we paste that in, we can click download at the bottom of the QR code on the right. And go ahead and give that a name. This is just for your files, so you know how to find this on your computer. And click download. And save that onto your computer. Then we're going to go back into command now. And we're going to add this to our command like an image. So we can go up to image on the left-hand toolbar. And if you can add it under my assets here with that plus icon. And now we're going to be able to like browse our computer for that QR code we just downloaded. Mm-hmm. And then the add image. And then, yeah, we can add that to our actual design by just clicking on it on the left-hand side. And we're going to need to do some resizing by using the dots in the corners to make that smaller. Now we can go like in with this verbiage, maybe we can kind of guide them to scan the QR code above for all the neighborhood stats. And then like so. And there we go. We created our design within the design section of command. One extra thing I would do with this design in the top right, we're going to be able to name this file, just again, organization purposes. And I'm going to name it Hunter Oaks Farming. All right, so now that we have this downloaded, there's a specific way we need to download this to our computer. So we need to download them as separate files. So what we're going to do is click the download icon. PDF, I change it to, well, actually, no, keep it PDF standard because every time I switch it, it's too high of like, yeah, it's too big. So let's leave it as PDF standard. If I need to come back here, I will, but. And then instead of, yeah, for the select all pages, we need to download each of these files one by one. So for that, we're going to deselect all pages and then select page 1 and download. And then do the same steps for the back once that's downloaded. You found it? Okay, good. Well, I wasn't sure, so. Yeah, PDF standard. And then just download each page separately. So deselect all pages in page 1 and then do the same steps for then page 2. And there should be like a little bar in the bottom left. You'll see when we're going to upload why we're doing it separately, because it's going to prompt for the front and then it's going to prompt for the back. Yeah, it's taking a while. And there's like a bar in the bottom left that lets you know where it's at. It looks like it's taking a little bit. What the heck?
Sorry.
It's just taking forever.
Oh, yours is taking forever?
Yeah, it's 45%.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. What is yours at?
Yay.
Oh my goodness.
Internet is something.
Yeah, right? Oh, mine's stuck at 68.
Mine's at 68. We're all stuck at 68.
Okay, what are the chances? I feel like that's. Oh, yeah. Like a horse race. Come on. Come on. Oh, wait, and then I got an error. Did you get an error? Oh, let me know what you get. How anticlimactic is that? Waited so patiently and then
Mine's going above 160. Oh, there's a problem.
it said that too. It gave an error. Okay, I think we're gonna be able to do it by PNG, and it just worked for me. Oh, shoot. So let's try. Yeah. Okay.
And then we still have to do it.
Yeah, still separately, but try PNG. That worked for me. Just as a workaround. That's weird. I've got nothing. Okay. Oh, awesome. And I'm gonna go just look to make sure that this is gonna be the right size before we go through all this trouble.
Oh, mine was validated. It's not showing.
Oh no. See, I thought that would happen. Why?
It's not showing up on my
Really? Is it giving you an error message or is it just not? Oh, it is. It's giving me an error message though when I'm trying to pull it into.
Oh, it is working. It is here.
Man.
Pocket thing?
No. Oh, wow, that's cool. I didn't know what that was. I went to go make sure that this worked by pulling it into campaigns, but it's saying it's not the right size, which is weird because we made it through command. So that's like the whole point. Yeah, like that's literally the whole point. Okay, well, let me see how to go about this. Format 4x6. Okay, well, I do have a workaround if this does happen, but it's through Canva because that's what I feel comfortable with.
So what do I do next after I download it?
Okay, so after you download it as a PNG, right? Okay, so here's the workaround because apparently that's not the right size for the campaign. So this is actually going to help me. Or, yeah, click done, sorry. Yep, done. Okay. All right, now we're gonna go into Canva to kind of get around this. This isn't technically not the steps that would be easiest, but we're making it work. And let's log in. Okay, so with Canva, and these are the steps in general if we want to use a Canva design for our direct mail. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to go up to create design in the top right. So instead of like searching for postcard in that search bar, we want to do create design in the top right. Now, sorry to jump a little bit, but I need to jump back into command to show you the like requirements command has for our postcards. So in command, go to the megaphone icon or campaign section. Then do create campaign in the top right and direct mail. Now for this one, click another goal other than like advertise listings, just so I can show you the difference. So brand awareness is perfect and create campaign. I don't think so. I think that's a good one too, as long as it's not advertised. The direct mail. And then give it a name and a goal. So I use Canva example, brand awareness, create campaign. Now under the content module, if we drop that down, for the first time we did this with a default template, but we can click over to upload a custom template. And this is where we're going to see all the requirements that command has. So this is why we need to download the front and back separate. And based off the size that we're wanting, so for a 4x6, we need that postcard to be a 4.25 by 6.25 for the bleeds. So because of these requirements, my recommendation when using Canva is to, instead of using the search bar to like type real estate postcard, go up to create a design and do custom size. That way we're going to be able to input exactly what command needs in order to use this postcard. So it's at the bottom of, and then,
Oh, this one?
no, sorry, create design and then design.
Oh.
So when we click custom size, the units it's in is pixels. So like for a 4x6, I like to use the inches like instead of the pixels. So change the units to inches. And then for width, we would put in 6.25, and for height, we'd put in 4.25. So always do custom design and custom size so that we can make sure we are doing the exact size command needs. And then we can do create new designs. So we can still search for the templates here after we pick our exact size. So under designs, we can still do like real estate and see the postcard examples here. So we're still able to use designs. It's just now it's at the perfect size. Exactly. Oh, thanks. Yay. I know that's a big time saver because if not, it's
Something I choose the template and when I print it, it's not the same size
Yes.
as the printer paper. And it's like, right?
so relatable. That's like the story of my life. Like with printing, it's like I always can't get it. So this will save you a lot of time resizing. And we can select any of these designs on the left-hand side and add it to our page. So we have a front, we can click add page and add it back. Yay! That makes me so happy. And my workaround idea for our postcard last time that didn't really work was going to be to just upload that PNG file into into Canva. And so it's going to be like an image so that we can get it to it's the sizing it needs via this workaround. So that was my idea, just to like download it like an image and then put it onto a postcard in command or in Canva. Gosh, there's so many C names. Command, Canva. But working with this template, the main thing we would need to make sure with these Canva templates is that there's going to be, again, the postage is like this kind of like for went in command. So we want to make sure no information is going to be within that square. So we might need to do some rearranging with like the information that it has on the back. Like, you know, the postage where it's like has the like the residence address and stuff on it that gets put onto postcards on the back. It's about this size, so we just want to make sure that we don't put any like information in that. And I can show you the preview.
Can't, like, right now, like, I have a template, if I edit this and make it my own,
Mhm.
I can't use Canva to send out postcards.
No, you can. It's just with the back side. So front side is normal. You can, it's fine. Yeah, the back side is the only thing that, like, here, let me show you. It's kind of hard to explain. Oh, well, I'll have to show you on the next page. I'll just show you though. Just, yeah,
I think I
yeah, it's hard to explain, but I can show it to you. So for downloading this file now, we can go up to share, and same kind of steps in the sense that we need to download each of these separately. So we're going to do share, download, PDF, print. PDFs, just do PDF standard because it won't give you the option.
It suggests for me PNG, is that?
That should work. Like, cause yeah, it does take, or no, it's JPEG or PDF. So it has to be one. PDF is typically what you use for printing. So that's what I'd recommend. Yeah, PDF print, and then keep this color profile on best for digital use. One, because the other one is for pros, but secondly, if you use a QR code, it's going to fade the QR code if you use that for some reason.
Oh, the pro one?
Yeah, I know. And I had to find out by user or like by trial and error. So the main thing here is picking page one. Again, we want to do this separately. So page one first, PDF print. So I have PDF print page one and left the color profile as is, and then click download. Then same steps, but we're going to do that for page two. Okay. Okay, so once we have those both downloaded onto our computer, we can now jump back into command. And here's where we can upload each of those files, so the front and back. So of course, for the front, we're going to do the front. Pretty straightforward. And then the back, we're going to pull in the back. And then click save. Next, moving us down, we always have to do this market center section. So go ahead and fill that out and then click verify address. Click the toggle, confirm address. I was ready.
So why is automatically bringing the old address? How do I?
Oh yeah. I'll go back to, yeah, after that or after this. Remind me. 14045 Valentine Corporate Place. Now for the targeting section, we can pick an address in the neighborhood that we're looking to target, or just a heads up, you can target your database as well. So if you have addresses in for your contacts, you can also target your database and it's going to send them a postcard right to their mailbox, which is pretty cool. Their mailing address. Oh. Oh, for local targeting? Yeah.
Can't just do like a zip code on where that is. Like, for this one, I did Wesley Chapel.
Yeah, you would just need to like, probably the MLS would be easiest, just to search one house in that area. and just use their address as a centralized spot. When I do this for like neighborhoods in general, sometimes I look up the clubhouse address, just to get, again, just one centralized address and then do targeting from there. So yeah, you do need an address here. And then click save. And again, for budgeting, that can be changed fully on the configure targeting page. So I typically don't even open that section. And I go to configure targeting. Did it save? Okay, good. So the last step here is doing the targeting again. So again, it's doing a default of 300 or 200 homes around the targeting address you did. If we wanted to increase or decrease that number for radius wise, we could click on that number and just put in the number we're looking to target. So 300, for example, and it's going to target then 300 surrounding homes. So we can play with that amount. And then again, the polygon tool is my favorite. Once we are here, we can click next, move us right along. And then here is that preview of what I was trying to explain, that postage. It's on the final preview. So yep, next. So this is the main thing, like preview to look out for, especially with Canva designs, making sure that nothing's cut off the edges. And then that big postage square, that nothing's in that space. And at that point, we put in an email and our card info, and we could send that right out. One extra tool that they recently added in here is the schedule launch for a later date. So there is the ability right from command to schedule out postcards. So if you wanted to sit down and do 6 postcards, for the full year and have that be scheduled out for you, it won't pull the money out of your account until that's actually ordered. So you could schedule that for every other month and have that just pull out when it's time. So that is how we can send postcards through command. How do we feel about postcards? Do you think you're going to use like commands designs or Canva designs? Oh gosh, yeah, this is a great thing to supplement your handwritten notes. Well, those are awesome too, because wow, what a personal touch those add. But I think postcards are a great way to supplement and make your efforts even more powerful, because then you can automate those things and yeah, just send them to their mailbox, and then they'll know your face when you give them that card. They'll recognize you. They'll be like, oh my gosh, you're the girl from the postcard. Yeah.
300 homes.
Yeah, that's a lot. And I have we have clients that will, they went through and tagged like 20 people in their database that are like hot leads or hot referrals. And so that's only like $22 a month, but they're getting sent postcards every month and stays top of mind via direct mailer as well. So if you're trying to target your database as well, it can be powerful there. Yeah, just some options. One of the things that I've been kind of contemplating is even birthday because you can schedule out the postcards. You could technically send a postcard on birthdays to people, which would be which which could be a cool use of that too, because a lot of people handwrite those as well. So this might be a good automated way to go about that. Any more questions? I always use Canva. I create in Canva and pull in. It's just because, yeah, more flexibility. The only fall. Yep. Or, well, that's going to happen either way, no matter what. Through command, yeah. So, I mean, that will always be, but the Canva doesn't have the KWLS section, so it's harder to pull in listing info and neighborhood info. But I feel like that could easily be switched out still. great idea. Yeah, pull that in from command. I love that idea. And yeah, I do love putting QR codes on all postcards that we send out. The neighborhood like QR code is what we typically use, but that could also be pointed to like a Google form if you're running like a promo. So if we did like one that was like scan the QR code for a chance to win $100 Lowe's gift card so that the agent could capture the contact information of people in the neighborhood. So that's just another QR code usage as well. Oh, and then the marketing profile. For the address, I think this is where it's pulling from, but we might have to check a couple places. Click on your name in the top right and then go to settings. And then connect settings on the left-hand side and marketing profile. And scroll down a bit. And I want to see if this is where it's going. Keep scrolling. There. Oh, yep, that's right there. Yeah, you can just put that, put in ours, and now it should update like within direct mail too. After you put that in, just scroll down to the very, very bottom to click save. Yep, Valentine Corporate Place.